Good afternoon, everyone. I'm excited to be here today, but I think before I start, I want to say a big thank you to the person that has made all this happen. And I'm saying no other than Oluseyi Magic. Please, let's give a round of applause for him. I think you need to do better. I think you can do better. Because I'll tell you, this is not an easy feat. It's not something small that he has done. So please, again, please give him a round of applause. And also to yourselves. I think you guys deserve a round of applause too. Because if he invited you and you didn't come, there will be empty chairs for us to speak to. So please give yourself a round of applause also. Yeah, my job is simple, very simple. I must say I'm very happy to be here today, and I would say it's quite overwhelming. I'm not sure. I think I've spoken at quite a few events, but this is the most packed that I've ever seen photographers in one single space. I think we deserve a round of applause. Photography has come to stay. I don't think this would have happened 10 years ago in Nigeria. I don't think so. So we've come a long way, and we've braved the odds, and we're here to stay. I think the theme for the conference is build to scale, right? Build and scale is what we need to start doing now, because looking at this group alone, and this is just talking about Lagos. What about other cities in Nigeria? What about Port Harcourt? What about Abuja? Imagine the kind of crowd we're talking about if we're pulling together several days of conference like this. This is just one day, and we have this much crowd. I think we deserve a round of applause as Nigerian photographers, as Nigerian creatives, not just photographers, because I recognize that there are other people here that might not just be into still photography. They might be into videos, content creation, and all the like. So I think we've come a long way. I've just been told that I have less than 20 minutes to do this, so I'll try my best to give as much knowledge as I can in the little space that I have. So, I've been charged with the topic, building a luxury photography brand that attracts high-paying clients. I think it's a very, very fantastic topic to talk about, because if I can see with a show of hands, who has a photography business here? Anything, media business, please, show of hands. Media business, fantastic. Here, do I have anybody that doesn't want to attract high-paying clients? I thought so too. I don't think we have anybody here doing photography that doesn't want to roll with the big boys and do the big things and make money off photography. I would say for a long time, I used to do photography as a passion and not just as a business. But I think that changed some years ago when I realized this is the only job I have. This is the only thing I have to survive. I think I had a mentor once and said, and this was before I started photography. I used to be a computer programmer. I used to do web design. I used to play Scrabble professionally. I've represented Nigeria at the World Championships before. Yeah, that was in Malaysia, 2009. That's a few years ago. So I had all these things going for me. Programmer, web designer. I basically thought I could do everything I wanted to do. And I met my mentor, a photography mentor. His name is Isaac Emokwae, right? How many of you know Isaac Emokwae? He's an artist, a photographer. Yeah. And he told me, you have all these different skills. If photography was the only thing you have to survive, what will you do with photography? And I think that was one of the things that changed the game for me. And I quit my job as a programmer I left every other thing I did, and I started being a photographer. So let's go back to the topic. In Nigeria, the word luxury, right? Any small thing, luxury. Luxury restaurants, luxury photography business. In Nigeria, I find luxury is a word that has been abused and thrown around too loosely. And as such, it has lost some of its meaning. Many use it as a label rather than a standard. Luxury is a standard. And that's when you go abroad and you're looking at restaurants, you see a Michelin 2-star restaurant, a 3-star restaurant. Even when you travel around the world, you see hotels. Oh, this is a 5-star hotel. This is a 4-star hotel. This is a 3-star hotel. And those stars, they actually represent something. But however, luxury in the Nigerian context has been anything, I don't know. I don't even know how to put it. We see it every day. Any small thing, luxury restaurant, luxury hotel. And we really don't understand the meaning of the word luxury again. However, I'll say true luxury isn't just about saying it. It's about delivering an experience that speaks for itself. And that's the same even in the photography business. How do we build a business that genuinely attracts the right crowd, the right clients? I would not necessarily say high-paying clients right now, because sometimes I heard Yemi King say, sometimes in some businesses or in some clients, you're not actually supposed to extract money. You are supposed to extract value or virtue from them. So we shouldn't make that mistake and think that every client is our client and every client is the right client for us. So we need to understand that. Right. So I would say, how do we build a brand that genuinely attracts the right crowd? By creating real value, setting a match standard, and being intentional. And then note that word, intentional is the word. So I'm going to give you about 6 points. I would highlight them, and then I'll go back to talk about them. Number 1, define what you stand for. That's number 1. Number 2, craft an experience, not just a service, not just a photography business, not just come and snap, because that's not your job. That's not what you do. It's not just snapping. You're creating an experience and not just a service. Number 3, I would say quality over quantity. In today's world, a lot of people just want, I just want a lot of pictures, right? That shouldn't be your own selling points. Create with quality in mind and not just quality. And not just quantity, sorry. What story are you trying to tell with your business? As a photographer, as a business owner, there's always something that you're trying to say. There's always an idea that you're trying to sell. So what are you trying to say with your own business? Number 5, relationships are your biggest assets. I've heard, I think, sitting at the back, I've heard some speakers speak about relationships. So relationships are quite important, even as a photographer. Number 6, network. Network intentionally, and not just anyhow. It's not just about going to club, right? Network. I'll give you a few other laws that I've tried in my own business, and it has worked over time, and then we can wrap it up as a conclusion. So I'll go back now and start. Now, don't get it twisted. All the things I'm going to say today, I'm also guilty. I'm guilty as charged. Because I believe we are not just perfect, but we're just working towards consistency. We're working towards excellence. We're not perfect. Nobody is perfect, right? So I'm speaking to myself as much as I'm speaking to you and everyone in this room. I'm a work in progress. I've made mistakes, but I'm on a journey of consistency towards excellence. I'm not perfect. So that being said, number 1, I said define what you stand for. Now, doing this starts with clarity. What do you want to be known for as a photographer, as an artist? What do you want to be known for? The truth is, high-paying clients know what they want. They aren't just buying photos. They are investing in your vision, your expertise, and your experience, and the experience you create, right? For you to understand what you stand for, it requires awareness, right? One thing is, I know I'm process-driven. And when a lot of clients come to me, I'll give this very good example. They'll come to me and say, oh, yeah, you know what? Let's just snap. Let's just take it. Let's take it on a plain background. And when we're doing post-production, we just cut background of Eiffel Tower on the picture. And a lot of times I've flat out said no to them, because that's not how my brain works. That's not how I think. So I understand myself. I'm aware of what I love. I'm aware of what I want to communicate. So take, for instance, I did a project for a show, and they told me, oh, you know what? We want a background of Lekki Ikoyi toll bridge. We want it to be but our models are very finicky. They wouldn't want to shoot outside. They wouldn't want to do that. I'm just like, okay. So what do you want me to do? Oh, we just want you to shoot them on a plain backdrop, and then you cut them into... I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to do this. Even though you don't have the budget for us to create the conditions that helps us take them outside, because you can always create the conditions. The best stars in the world, they still shoot on location. If you're shooting a film, a lot of times they still shoot on location, right? So why would you say, obviously, they don't have the budgets? So what I did was, I went out of my way. I accepted what they had to pay me. It was a lot of money, I won't lie. But it wasn't enough to do what I wanted to do. And I created what I felt was still a bit of the experience. Because what I don't want to see is, I take a picture and it's on a plain backdrop. We have behind the scenes, because I love to create that kind of experience also. And in behind the scenes, you are seeing me shooting on a plain backdrop. And when the pictures come out, you see them in London. And I'm just like, no, that's not how my brain works. I don't understand. I don't like that, that style. It's not my style. And a lot of other people would gladly do it. A lot of movie stars shoot on green screens. I understand that. A lot of producers will come to me and say, can we shoot on green screen? I'll say, I would rather not shoot on green screen. Can we create something that looks like what you want to do, so that we can have the experience? And even for the clients, it's also an enjoyable experience. Long story short, I created the experience. I brought Lekki Ikoyi toll bridge into the shooting studio. Since they couldn't go out, I went out of my budget. I made that happen. And that could only happen because I understood what I liked about my work. Accepted, I'm working for the client and they know what they want. But also, taking a picture or creating that experience is not just about the client. It's also about you. And that's why they are coming to you, because they can go to any other person that can give them what they want to have. But they want your own input. And that's why they are coming to you. So knowing yourself is very vital. Are you that photographer that captures timeless moments with impeccable details? Do you specialize in telling stories that evoke emotions? We can already picture some photographers like that in Nigeria, right? You can already picture it for yourself. Or are you the photographer who doesn't care about details and who shows up late, right? But these are the things that we need to really think about for ourselves. I would like to mention something that is very important also. In knowing yourself, it's also important to look the part and act the part. I mean, I think we have to give ourselves a round of applause also, please. A round of applause. Nigerians photographers, they dress. You have to, I mean, sometimes I've gone to some weddings that even the photographer on duty is even more well-dressed than the groom that is getting married. I've seen examples of that. I won't lie to you. I'm not even capping, to use the word, right now. So I think it's important to also make sure you look the part. Because how are you telling me to pay you 10 million naira? And I'm looking at you and I'm like, What are you going to use the 10 million naira to do? It doesn't look like you've handled 10 million naira before, because these clients will size you up. They will rather give money to someone that they know has handled that kind of money that you are asking for before than someone that has never handled it. So it's important to look the part. Yeah? I'll go on to the next. Well, before I go on to the next, your brand must communicate class, expertise, confidence, not just in a boastful way, but in a way that shows that you are intentional about the results that you deliver. So it's important to be intentional about what you do. Every single experience or interaction with your clients needs to make them understand that you know what you're doing. And that's how they respect you. And that's when you ask them. That's why when you ask them, oh, I'm demanding this much from you, they'll be able to say, oh, he knows what he's doing, so let us give him. Number 2, craft an experience, not just a service. This is a very important one, but it's very tough. I know that I've been in some shoots that Big H does, and you can tell that, yeah, the experience is good. From the kind of food that you eat, oh. If you're on Big H's set, there's always a table for food. There's a spread that the clients, everybody that comes to the clients, the people that are working on set, it's a whole experience. And I dare say there are a few other photographers too that I know that does, creates experience for their clients. That even the clients, when they enter the studio, from every single thing, the way they are greeted. How many of you have flown maybe first class or business class before? You know, when you are entering economy, it's a different treatment. They'll just show you to your seats. One time, I think the first international flight that I flew, I think first class, or I can't remember. It was some time ago before dollar went bonkers. I mistakenly upgraded my ticket too. Mistakenly. I just saw it at, you are flying, and they sent me an offer. You know, you can upgrade your ticket for $100. And I was just like, okay, let me try it now. Let me bid. And I chose maybe $140 to upgrade my ticket. And they sent me an email, oh, your ticket has been upgraded. I'm like, eh? Even me. And I will tell you, the experience I witnessed, from asking me what kind of wine do I want, to what kind of water do I want, do you want still water, or do you want... I was just like, man, poverty is not my portion. So that's the same way you make your clients feel when you care to them. People may not remember what you said, but they will always remember how you made them feel. That's a quote by Maya Angelou. Your clients will not remember how many lights you used. They will not remember what ISO, what aperture, or what shutter speed you used. But they will always remember the experience, how you made them feel. So from the first point of contact to the delivery of your gallery or your images, it is important. I've had a client before that booked me and said, okay, so they booked me, I flew to Abuja, I did the work, and the client just asked me, do you know why we booked you? I said, please, I don't know why you booked me. Just, is it because you've seen my work now? They said, no, it's not because of your work. I said, why? He said, the first time we called you, the way you responded and you picked up the call, that was why we booked you. I was just like, oh my God. So everybody is watching. Every single detail matters. How do you pick up the phone? How do you onboard your clients? How do you guide them through the process? How do you advise them? Styling, location, makeup artists, hair. What happens after the shoot? How do you follow up with them? Do you create moments? How do you package your deliverables? All of these things, they matter. So it's important, right, to make sure that when you are taking pictures or when you are engaging a client, you are not just creating pictures. You are not just snapping pictures. You are creating experiences with them. Number 3 is quality over quantity. A lot of us make the mistake of churning out rushed images, especially in today's world. We are looking to book 5 clients a week, And then by the time you shoot all the days of the week, your Monday client is already asking you on Wednesday, when are my pictures ready? And now we start rushing. It's important to focus on excellence rather than booking so many clients. High-paying clients are looking for exclusivity. They're not looking for the photographer that's working for every single person on the... that has its own place. But high-paying clients are looking for exclusivity. In essence, never compromise the quality of your gear, the quality of your experience, the quality of your processes, editing process, onboarding process, quality of your finished products. Always be consistent in your deliverables. That's what people know you for. When they come to you, that's what they're paying you for. They are assured that when they come to you, they get quality. That's why they're paying you for what they're paying you for. When aiming for excellence, it isn't always about doing work or doing more work. It is about doing the right kind of work and doing it well. And you always have to be aware of this. It's not just how much you do. It's the quality of what you are doing that matters. Because you can go around and doing so much work for so many people and you mess up. And at the end of the day, nobody calls you again. And at the end of the day, your story goes around. Oh, is it that guy? I really didn't like what he gave me. And referral, word of mouth counts a lot, even in our industry. Just one recommendation can set you up for life and set you apart for life. So it's important to understand that quality is very, very essential over quantity every single time. Now, what story are you telling? How are you being perceived? Right? People are drawn to stories. Your brand needs to tell one. Who are you? Why do you do what you do? Right? We've seen photographers that are so drawn to telling stories, telling human stories. That's what they do, and they're good at doing it. We've seen people that what they're doing is showcasing everybody in the best light, right? When you go to them, you know that everything about you is transforming. You hardly would even recognize yourself. Everything about you, and that's what they do, and they do it excellently well, right? And they are drawn to it. They are motivated by it. That's the ethos. That's the core of their business, and they always do it well. So you see, you must see value in yourself to add value to yourself. That's the law. That's the law of a mirror. Your clients must see value in you to be able to add value to you. When they pay you, they are adding value to you. But for them to add value to you, I have 5 minutes. I'll aim to round up quickly. When they see value in you, they'll be able to give you what you ask for. Your social media, your website, your portfolio, consistency matters. What is it saying? Is it today you are doing burials, tomorrow you are doing birthdays, next tomorrow you are doing weddings? What are you really saying? Don't get me wrong, I do everything. If you pay me enough, I will do everything for you. I've even done burials before. I've done one burial in my entire journey as a photographer. But guess how much I was paid for that burial? A lot. I know tax people might be here, so I will not mention. A lot. Way over 10 million. Way over, yeah, double digits in the millions. Right? For burial. Yes. So, so don't get me wrong. Don't worry. Don't get me wrong. I do everything. But have you seen burial on my page before? Exactly. Anyways, let's move on. Number 5, relationships are your biggest assets. High-paying clients don't just fall from the sky. There's a chance they were referred to you by someone who has experienced your work, a former client, or someone you know. It's important to treat every client with the same dignity and respect. Treat them like they're VIPs, regardless of their budgets. And that's what I will always say. Because they might refer someone who will become your dream client eventually. I'll tell you a very good story. There was a particular time, when I was just starting my career as a photographer, I went to do a job for a client. And You know, all these times we used to charge per look or per person that we are shooting. So the brief was that I had four different models to shoot, but on this day, only one model out of four showed up. And I will not lie to you. It'd be like say I charged like 25,000 per person, right? So my total fee for doing it was 100K, right? This was maybe like 10, 11 years ago. I'm not talking about recent history. Yeah. So my client was like, okay, so since the three other people didn't come, Shebi, instead of paying you 100,000, I'll pay you 25,000. I was just like, what? I spent my entire day. I woke up, carried the equipment, drove to, no, I didn't drive, I didn't have a car. Enter bus, carry system, carry everything, carry lights. And I was obviously, went to the island, and you are telling me that you are paying me 25K. I said, you know what? I was so angry. I said, keep your money. Don't worry, I'll deliver the pictures to you. But I can't collect that. Guess what? I delivered the pictures. And I told her to keep her money. But guess what? This client was calling me maybe like 2 or 3 weeks after. I say, oh, my child is doing 1-year-old birthday. Me that I charged 100K for 4 people. Maybe like 4 weeks ago. Said, ma, it's 500,000. Oh, it's 500,000, no problem. Well, wait. I was like, what? Yeah, she paid. And she didn't only pay. The same year, she gave me jobs worth millions. The same year. This was the person that I said, keep your 25,000 just a few months ago. And before the end of the year, she gave me. So relationships are important. Number 6, network intentionally. Your dream clients hang out in specific places. Corporate events, events like this, you never can know they might be here. I hear people from the Bank of Industry are here. Anyways, social clubs, mix. Leave the back of your computer. Stop editing. Stop. Just go out. Yeah? Network. Network intentionally. Right? Growth thrives in conducive surroundings. You are not looking for high-paying clients and you are constantly in Ojodu, Beggar, or Shomolu. Sorry, I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Anyways, law of environment states that when you change your environment and you change yourself, growth will be faster and more successful. So it's important to network. And not only network effortlessly, network intentionally. Anyways, I'm going to talk about a few laws, right? They're not so much in relations to the points I've made, but I'll just mention them. Law of pain. Good management of bad experiences leads to great growth. If I had managed the relationship with that woman, if I had managed it anyhow, would I have been recommended for all the jobs she recommended me for? Never. So it's important to manage bad experiences as best as you can. I know a lot of us are woke now because you give me fire for fire, aura for aura. Is that not what we say? Yes, you give me nonsense, I give you nonsense. But it's important. You're running a business, you're a brand. It's important to act like a professional because that's what high-paying clients will look at. Law of rubber bands. And the reason why I'm saying this is it's possible that we all started off knowing what we wanted to do. We started off being so energetic about our photography career, but definitely there's always the law of diminishing return. At some point, when you grow old in this your career, you start feeling burnt out, you start feeling tired, it starts feeling repetitive, but hard work, good work is repetitive work. Trust me. So law of the rubber band says, growth stops when you lose the tension between where you are and where you could be. So it's always important to evaluate where you are. And it's always important to have that goal in mind. Oh, this is what I want, where I want to be. This is where the kind of clients I want to be booking. I don't just want to be comfortable with, okay, because I'm getting by, I'm able to pay my rents regularly, I'm not owing anybody, then I should confine myself to this class of clients. It's important to have a goal. And always, it's also important to always remember that goal. so that it can serve as a pointer to you to where you want to be. In conclusion, to attract your dream clients, you have to step into the mindset of the people you want to work with. They value quality, they value professionalism, and they value trust. They value excellence. So if you can position yourself as a brand that delivers excellence, you wouldn't need to sell yourself to them. Or you don't need to sell the idea of you before they can work with you. Right? And I'll end with this quote. Remember, don't chase butterflies. Build your garden and butterflies will come. Thank you very much.